Greetings, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you all. And our presentation today is entitled Meditation in Depth 8. Now, meditation is the key and central practice of spirituality and for the mastery of life. Much progress can be made when it is practiced daily. Now, we will have a period of meditation, and then we'll get into the presentation proper. But to lead into the meditation, we'll actually deal with one of the questions about meditation that we'll discuss today. And it is, can you discuss another example of a sacred text that describes the technique and process of meditation? And to answer that question, I want to show you a particular image. Now you'll see here a picture of Arjuna and Lord Krishna from the Bhagavad-gita. And the Bhagavad-gita is a sacred text. It's part of the epic Mahabharata, sacred text of Hinduism. Now, the Rosicrucian Order Amorc is not a religion, but it does deal with things of a spiritual nature, but not with an emphasis on belief, but firsthand direct knowing, which is mysticism. Mysticism is the art and science of love. They're coming into the being one with the one, experiencing the divine within, or the Rosicrucians refer to as the master within, and the understanding of all natural and spiritual laws for the mastery of living. Mastery here means living in harmony with oneself and others, one's environment, and the totality. Now, in chapter 6 of the sacred text, the Bhagavad-gita, is actually a description of meditation. Why do it, what its value is, what is its larger picture in spirituality, and what is the technique. In fact, the chapter is often referred to as the yoga of meditation, yoga referring to the way of unity. And the charioteer that you'll see here is the standing figure, Lord Krishna, and seated is Prince Arjuna, who's the skilled archer. They converse before a battle scene that is about to commence. And that battle scene can be viewed as an allegory of our moral and spiritual struggles in our own lives. The avatar and supreme personality of the Godhead, Lord Krishna, the figure in the center, instructs and initiates Arjuna, the seated figure, into the practice and wisdom of yoga, or the way of unity, including the meaning, purpose, and technique of meditation. Now, various sacred texts actually do talk about meditation. One can be reading a sacred text for many years and not realize that one of the senses or meanings of the text was actually a description of meditation and the meditative experience. Some of those were mentioned in earlier presentations on meditation in depth that are now on as Rosicrucian TV recordings on YouTube. You go to youtube.com/Rosicrucian TV, or when you're on YouTube, just search on Rosicrucian TV and you can find them there. One thing that's striking about the description of in the chapter 6, the yoga of meditation of the Bhagavad-gita, is that it actually is quite detailed, and much of it's very literal in terms of the practice of meditation. It talks about the importance of living in a balanced or temperate way, in terms of, for example, not eating too much, not sleeping too much, having a good work-life balance, as we might say today, or a good balance between work and recreation. This will all help with the spiritual life, but also the practice of meditation. It goes into details very practically about how to sit, what to sit on, how to position the body with the spine straight and upright, and how to still the mind to be one-pointed, focused on the divine, so that the heart will be purified. It mentions about letting go of selfish desires and expectations and attachments. These are all things that are important for the spiritual path, but they're also important for being able to meditate well. So letting go of attachments. The aspirant increasingly identifies with and unites with, in Hinduism would say, with Brahma. We could also say with their divine, and also the aspirant's true nature. They're all one. Also, there's advice on how to use one's will to control the senses so one can concentrate and have good attentive control during meditation. Emphasizes too the importance and determination for meditation. That's important in all things that we're well guided on in our conscience, but having an enthusiasm and determination for meditation, to do it daily. All of this will be a positive reinforcing cyclical action to make all these things I've mentioned easier, because the meditative practice will assist and strengthen us deep within ourselves and strengthens our outer nature. Now, we'll apply all these points in the meditation we're about to do, but I wanted to mention some of the very important points the Bhagavad-gita, chapter 6, the Yoga Meditation mentions. Ultimately, when we do our meditation, we'll apply those as well as the Rosicrucian Order Landmark book, Liber 777. Later on, towards the end of the presentation, Karen will post in the group chat some of these resources for you. So I invite you now to look at this inspiring work. It shows here Lord Krishna, the avatar and supreme personality of the Godhead, as he instructs Arjuna on the way of unity and yoga and how to do meditation. He shows him at a certain point his universal form. This is the form of cosmic consciousness, or consciousness of the cosmic, what Rosicrucians would refer to everything that's in the cosmos, all natural and spiritual laws, all beings, all forms of that expression and manifestation, the experience of being in all places at once. Arjuna has an experience of that through being shown this universal form. This relates to some other works that I've shown you in time. For example, on the left, we have a Rosicrucian Digest cover from January 1984. It shows a work entitled Aspiration by the Rosicrucian artist Leopold de Postels. You see the aspirant in the lower right has climbed up to a mountaintop, seeing his true nature, seeing his divine within, the master within, an experience of the unity, his true nature, which is akin to and has some parallels with Krishna showing Arjuna his inner divine nature. That is the inner self of Arjuna. The battle scene that Arjuna and Krishna are before has been interpreted allegorically like the trials and struggles in the mystical life as we work to perfect ourselves both morally and spiritually and embrace those experiences. On the right, we see a parallel expression, the Transfiguration by the early Renaissance artist Fra Angelico. It can be seen at the Museum of San Marco in Florence, Italy, where the specially selected disciples of the Master Jesus are initiated deeper into the spiritual life and see the Christ principle or the cosmic consciousness or Christ consciousness before them. All these inspiring images you may wish to keep in mind as we ascend into the heights of the celestial sanctum. Now I'd like to play for you a singing recitation of part of chapter 6 of the Bhagavad-gita on the yoga of meditation. In it, you'll hear sung in Sanskrit the instructions for meditation that I mentioned, and also various aspects of why meditate. You know, it's quite inspiring to hear Sanskrit sung, because in mystical tradition, Sanskrit is one of the ancient languages that descends from and helps draw us into the original angelic language that we remember deep within ourselves. So I invite you now, you may wish to close your eyes and turn inward to hear these sacred instructions on meditation that I've just described. Now continue our meditation. I invite you to keep your eyes closed. following the instruction of the Bhagavad-gita, can be translated as the Song of God, and the instructions of the Rosicrucian book, Liber 777. Let us ensure that we're sitting comfortably in her chair, spine upright, hands in the laps, palms down. Feet flat on the floor, connecting the temple of the body with the temple of the earth. And let us take deep neutral breaths with our eyes closed. Enjoy the gentle rhythm of the breath. Either holding the inhalation or holding the exhalation. You may wish to prolong the exhalation, which will stimulate the vagus nerve, a large nerve on our body that helps with the relaxation response. And as we relax, we're able to concentrate better and pursue our spiritual goal of uniting with the Master within and the God within. To prepare ourselves to rise to the heights of the celestial sanctum, we can say together the following prayer and invocation. May the divine essence of the cosmic cleanse me of all impurities of mind and body, that I may commune with the cathedral of the soul, the celestial sanctum. May my mortal consciousness be so enlightened that any imperfections of my thinking may be revealed to me. And may I be given the power of will to correct them. I humbly petition that I may perceive the fullness of nature and partake thereof, ever consistent with the cosmic good. So mote it be. Now let us use our imagination and our psychic capacity to picture ourselves rising up over the room where we are, up over the house where we dwell, up over the neighborhood where we live, and then up over the town or the city or the surrounding geographic area. And continue to rise up quicker and quicker, accelerating faster and faster. And look down below you and see the province or state where you dwell. You can see the various rivers and landforms, hills or mountains, coastal areas, lakes, oceans, as appropriate for your area, the weather systems, and keep rising up higher and higher and go past all the things around you and see below the country or nation where you dwell. And keep rising up higher and higher and take in the continent where you dwell. And now the hemisphere, either the northern or southern hemisphere where you live. And as you rise up higher and higher, take in the entirety of the earth, the beautiful sphere or ovate spheroid, and see that it is a beautiful blue jewel. You can see the great weather systems and the landforms of the continents, and it's rotating about its axis. See the great system and order and beauty of it all. You can radiate love and well-being down to all persons and sentient beings on earth helping purify it and make it more peaceful there. And continue to rise up and look up to our entire solar system, where you can see the fiery ball of the sun, the planets revolving about the sun, such as our Earth, and the huge planet of Jupiter, and the great planet of Mars with its rings, the smaller planets such as Mercury, Mars, and Venus. See the great elliptical orbits. And now zoom past our solar system and look up to see many other stars in addition to our sun, and see different stellar phenomena like pulsars and quasars, and supernovae, binary stars, and black holes, helping balance the universe. And keep moving faster and faster by all the stars and nebulae and interstellar gases, and start to sense the larger structure of our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, and exit right out from the galaxy and look back at it and see its great spiraling arms revolving about a center, just like the Earth revolves about the sun and our Earth revolves about its axis. And now look up from our Milky Way galaxy and see other galaxies, some in the form of spiraling galaxies, some in other shapes and forms, and see myriad stars, and just go faster and faster, way beyond the speed of light. Don't be passive at this stage. When we reach the heights of celestial sanctum, we'll surrender. But now use great inner force to rise up way beyond the speed of light as we transcend space and time, and see many other galaxies, and get a sense of the tremendous range of vibrations way beyond what our 5 physical senses can take in, but what we can take in a more inner psychic way, and the higher rates of vibrations on what Rosicrucians refer to as the cosmic keyboard. Take in this great sea of vibrations, like a great symphony or music of the cosmos, referred in earlier times as the harmony of the sphere, and its exhilarating beauty and melodious sound. And as we rise up faster and faster, we see not only individual stars and galaxies, but entire clusters of galaxies, superclusters of galaxies, as spoken of by astrophysicists and astronomers, and see them in their vast, beautiful, colorful forms, and sense the great motion of the universe itself about a great cosmic axis, all these superclusters of galaxies going around the axis, and one stupendous harmony and motion and divine music in this temple of God that is the cosmos. As we rise up higher and higher, faster and faster, more able to take in a view of the entire cosmos, speed towards the great cosmic axis of which it's all revolving about in one stupendous action. And when you get close to that cosmic axis, slow up at its midpoint and take time to dwell there. When you reach that center point of the cosmic axis, at the center of the cosmos, at the center of our being, because we've applied the law of correspondence, as above, so below, as we've rised up higher and higher in the universe and cosmos, we've gone deeper and deeper within ourselves. And dwell at that center point. And following the instructions of Liber 777 booklet, fill in a beautiful sacred temple or place in nature there. It may be an inspiring grove, trees, where worship can be done, or maybe a beautiful view from a mountain, giving a vast view suggesting the cosmic consciousness or consciousness of the entire cosmos, or maybe by a lake or an ocean and the water waves lapping in, suggesting the great rhythm and vibrations of the cosmos spoken of in the cosmic keyboard. Or you may wish to picture some other place that's inspiring in nature to you, or some sacred built temple, like a gurdwara or a stupa or a mandir or a cathedral or church, or a synagogue or similar, or maybe one of the temples of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc, such as the Grand Temple, the Grand Lodge in Rosicrucian Park in San Jose, California. Keep filling in the details, make it real and vital of your sacred place. Picture yourself sitting in it. Maybe there's beautiful symbolism of stained glass or incense burning. As the incense rises, it suggests the raising of our consciousness as we came to this high place, the center of the cosmos. Picture others on this teleconference seated in your celestial sanctum. Picture there also the cosmic masters and the imperator, chief executive officer of our order, the grand masters, possibly conducting sacred convocation or ritual there of an inspiring nature. And once you've filled in the sights and sounds of your celestial sanctum, just turn inward and be silent in this place of deep stillness at the center of your being. If you find your mind wandering, just lovingly and gently bring it back to the celestial sanctum that you visualized with the gentle rhythms of your breath. With each breath, move more deeper inward, sensing the divine within, our true nature and guide in life. Let us dwell for a while in deep stillness and silence. Well, we dwell in this deep silence and peace. Rosicrucians refer to as peace profound. Let us conduct another spiritual operation, the work and worship of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc, by radiating love and well-being to all those in need. Let us work as a silent council in conjunction with the Council of Solace of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc to radiate out metaphysical aid or love and well-being to all those who've petitioned the Grand Lodge of the Rosicrucian Order Amorc for guidance and healing, and all those who've petitioned your affiliated body for guidance and healing, and all those you know who are in need of healing and guidance and love and well-being, and all sentient beings in need on earth and throughout the cosmos. Radiate out love and well-being to them now like a great spotlight out from your heart and your mind to radiate out the love and well-being. Use a great deal of inner spiritual force, just like you use to rise up to the heights of the celestial sanctum at the center of your being. Just let the love and well-being flow out from you. Mother Nature is acting as a channel. The divine within is doing the work in its infinite resources. Just let the love and well-being flow. I wish to picture it like a great white light filling yourself, your celestial sanctum, and all about you, and filling the cosmos, reaching all those in need. I think at a certain point, I think you'll find that the flow increases and you know that it's reaching those in need. And soon I think you'll find that you no longer have to make a conscious effort for their love and well-being to be radiating out. It continues deeply on its own, out from you. And when that occurs again, just turn inward and surrender to the God divine within as the love and well-being radiates out from you. And enjoy the exhilaration and enrichment of this experience. Now we'll formally conclude this period of sending metaphysical aid, but we'll continue our meditation. Conclude this period of the work of the silent counsel in conjunction with the counsel of solace. We'll say, if it pleases the cosmic, it is done, so mote it be. Now let us continue to dwell for a while longer in the deep stillness and silence and presence of the Master within, the divine within, our true nature and guide in life. As you do that, you may wish to picture your mind expanding to encompass the entirety of the cosmic and the cosmos. Rosicrucians use the term cosmic to refer to all natural and spiritual laws and the divine intelligence back of the cosmos. Just let your mind expand out to encompass the entirety of the cosmic and the cosmos, and dwell in cosmic consciousness. We'll prepare shortly to descend from the heights of the celestial sanctum. At this point, we may wish to evoke the law of gratitude, to be thankful for all that we've received and all the opportunities we have to give you of service, and to attune with the cosmic, such as on this occasion, for all those who have guided us well in this life and who attracted us to the spiritual path. Now let us begin our descent from the heights of the celestial sanctum, traveling with great speed past the superclusters of the galaxies, seeing individual galaxies now, and in the far distance, this great spiraling galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, our home. And let us enter into that great arm where we live, the Milky Way galaxy, past myriad stars and pulsars and quasars and black holes and nebulae and interstellar gases, various planets, and see far in the distance the solar system, our home, and the great fiery ball of the sun, and speed towards the beautiful blue jewel of the earth. Come back to the hemisphere where we dwell, the continent, the country or nation where we dwell, the province or state, and the city or town. And let us stay together to close this period of meditation and cosmic attunement. May the God of my heart sanctify this attunement of self with the celestial sanctum. So mote it be. And now let us continue down to the neighborhood where we dwell, our home or house, the room where we left off, in the chair where we're seated, and sense the temple of the body. When you're ready, you may wish to stretch and open your eyes, the balanced state of consciousness through the cosmic consciousness. Ready more for the work and worship of this day and the presentation to continue. Thank you. I will continue this presentation with a series of several more questions. And the first question that we dealt with, of course, was describing a sacred text that talks about the technique and process of meditation. We did that by talking about the Bhagavad-gita of Hinduism, a text that's also can be translated, its title translated into English as Song of God. And we listened to a very beautiful song from its scriptures on meditation. The next question I'd like to deal with is, can meditation help when I'm in pain? The answer to that is yes, even when we're in excruciating pain or during illness. And the Rosicrucian teachings help us to understand that pain is a signal for us to be attentive to what may need to change in our bodies or our mind and our lives. So that so often some action is needed for healing and alleviating the pain. And meditation will even help guiding us to what that is. In addition to the assistance from health professionals and the needed care for ourselves, meditation can be helpful in reducing the pain and shortening its duration. Indeed, meditation is a form of soothing for our inner and outer natures. Now, even if we're in excruciating pain, often we're able to talk. And so instead of talking, we can focus on breathing. And if we can do that, we can meditate. Now, it's true during challenging circumstances. Being led during the meditation period by a person live or recording can be helpful, as another person is being in effect positive and supportive for us. However, silent meditation can be very effective too when we're in pain or during challenging circumstances. You see, meditation helps galvanize and unify our faculties, which are truly one unity, to work as for a solution or a resolution, often through what can be referred to as the wisdom of the body. Now, meditation also allows us to be more aware of pain. Initially, that may sound like something one doesn't wish, but actually it's quite good to be aware of that pain or the emotion that is of concern, and also of its nature. And by doing so, we do not resist the pain. That's very important. We do not resist the pain. And that will result in us suffering less. You see, some pain is due to tension, for example. Many back pains, not all, are due to muscle tension, particularly in the lower back, often thought to be chronic. But meditation, as part of its overall relaxing effect, can help relax those muscles to alleviate or even end the pain in some situations. Also, meditation can help direct us to how or why we were in stress that caused the muscle tension or some other physiological disorder in the first place, and how to approach that situation in the future, or how to interpret differently the situation. With meditation, it's becoming more sensitive is actually good. We can come into a whole new experience of the temple of the body and the mind. Meditation also helps with insights in how to interpret what one is sensing in the body and the mind. We have a whole new experience of the concept of what it is to be a microcosm in union with the macrocosm or in correspondence with it. As one of the psychologists who studies meditation that I work with often mentions, if we can feel it, we can heal it. We can direct healing to that issue, and where our faculties are more unified and galvanized to deal with it. Now, another question I'd like to deal with is, what is the difference between hypnosis and meditation? Now, meditation can be thought to have some similarities with hypnosis. That's true. But hypnosis and meditation are different. Meditation can be described basically as dwelling within ourselves in silence. It can be done for general enlightenment, healing, and seeking answers to questions not readily answered by any other means. Hypnosis, on the other hand, is the entry into, or more technically speaking, the induction of a state of consciousness in which a person is very responsive and receptive to suggestion or direction, maybe from themselves or from another person. Now, hypnosis is used in therapy, commonly to allow modification of specific behaviors or to try to recover suppressed memories. Now, self-hypnosis and hypnosis have a variety of different forms, and there are some good practitioners. As one psychologist I work with refers to, self-hypnosis and hypnosis in general involves, in a certain sense, some kind of tricking of the mind, quote unquote. In meditation, we're not trying to, in quotes, do any tricking. Self-hypnosis or hypnosis is generally directed to deal with some specific problem. Meditation doesn't need to be done in that sense. Meditation is more unified as a journey. So the hypnosis and meditation, they're two different paths of development. They have their respective values, and they both work with the subconscious. And in the meditation, one can go even deeper than the subconscious into the from the subconscious mind into the cosmic mind. Now, the final question I'd like to deal with for today before we close out is, can meditation help me let go? And there's a lot that can be said about this, but I'll mention a few things. Letting go is different from avoiding. Letting go of something that is concerning us or we don't need to focus on can allow for a fresh perspective, for us to become aware of the guidance of our inner self, the master within, for a different, more life-affirming approach. And letting go is different from avoiding. When we avoid something, that actually increases our tension. You know, one thing that meditation helps with in us to let go is often we can have revolving thoughts. We keep coming back to thoughts of the same type again and again. Meditation trains us to let go, to dwell in that inner deep stillness and not be revolving in the mind, and have fresh perspectives and receptivity, that deeper maturity within us. And when we have that guidance, when we let go, let the outer self lets go and surrenders to the guidance of the master within, there's that guidance that gives us a much more life-affirming approach and helps mature us and know how to assist ourselves and others. Now, sometimes the idea of letting go causes concern for our outer nature, wants to hold on to things that may be no longer serving us or of value, even if they're causing us pain and discomfort. But it's important to note that on the spiritual path, assisted centrally by meditation, all that is of essential value will be carried forward, enriched, and spiritualized. An important part of letting go, as I mentioned, is the surrendering of the outer self, so it can be receptive to the wisdom and infinite resources of the inner master, the master within, our true nature. And then the outer self and the inner self can work as one, which they truly are, in strength, upliftment, truth, and in a manner that promotes for our well-being and that of others in our environment. So in conclusion, I'll mention that we've considered some common and not so common questions about meditation. We've also continued to explore how meditation makes for the most direct and sure-wise counsel in our daily lives and increases our well-being and capacity for service. It is a central exercise of one of the many mystical exercises we learn in our Rosicrucian studies for the mastership of our lives and for being of greater service. It's great to be learning with you and to be with you today. Thank you, everyone. This concludes our presentation for today. Thank you. I'll ask at this time that Sir Karen posts in the chat the resources for today that you can copy and paste. Thank you, and goodbye, everyone. Peace profound.